tell me about your experience so far with the program itself. So, did you have a local program and a state program, or just a state program?
I think we had both programs. The local program was pretty small, and then we had a state program of about 20 girls. Honestly, it was such a fantastic experience. Like, I was not expecting it to be that fun. Um, so, this program, I did it back in June, and honestly, I could confidently say that the girls I met at the program are definitely some of my closest friends. We got to know each other a lot, and everyone is just so talented, so smart, so inspirational, and I've had a great time, honestly, there. We had a lot of fun in rehearsals, knowing each other, talking backstage, and honestly, it was just really fun. I would recommend a lot of people to do it. Unfortunately, not that many people know about it in Illinois, so I hope to increase awareness of DIW in the future, and I'll definitely recommend it to all the girls in my school and my community.
Yeah, and that's part of the conversation, or part of the reason that we want to have these conversations with you girls. It's to drive that engagement, drive that excitement about the program, and really get more people aware that it even exists, because there's so many benefits and perks to being a part of it. And even if you don't win, you are still a winner because you're gaining so much experience, knowledge, and friendships even, which is so cool. So, do you have any suggestions or recommendations on how we can do that, and how we can, maybe get into schools, or get these conversations started, and gain some more attraction and more attention for the program?
hmm So for DIW in Illinois, I think our social media pages definitely do a really good job. Every year around maybe like spring, we post a lot about what the program is. And I'll be taking over one of the Instagrams coming up. So I'll be sure to post about the values of DIW, what Be Your Best Self program is, to try and have more people know about the program. In addition, I think maybe visiting schools and letting their younger kids know about the program early on is definitely really good, because in our program we have this thing called Rising Stars and Distinguished Girls. So we're getting the girls in the community involved early on, and hopefully this will have more people interested in the program. In addition, I think one problem that we may have with people joining DIW is a lot of girls aren't really confident in themselves, and they're really scared to try out the program. I've noticed this a little bit in my school, so I've been telling other girls, be confident in yourself. You're braver than you think. You're smarter than you seem. Please give this program a shot. Honestly, it's so worth it. It doesn't matter whether or not you win. All the girls here are winners. Everyone's so inspirational, so talented, and I think that just giving this program a try, really meeting all the supportive girls around you, is worth it, and it's honestly really fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I just said, there's so many benefits and perks. Like, you really just can't. If you don't do it, you're missing out more than if you did do it. So, in particular for yourself, what sparked your interest in even wanting to do the program? What sort of caught your attention about it?
I heard about this program actually pretty early on. I think it was back in sixth or seventh grade. I saw in the news that our Illinois representative Dora, she's doing really well, and I was like, oh my god, wow, I should check out this program. Like, I was back in sixth grade, so it was a while off, but I just checked out the program and I saw that it was based on like scholastics, fitness, talent, speaking, and interviews, and I thought this was a really great program because I think that these are really great values, and I think it's great that this program teaches young women how to be more confident in themselves and sharpen their skills. So I also heard about this program in our school's like daily digest. It's basically a newspaper full of announcements, and this I was just inspired to give DYW a try after seeing it pop up in our school newspaper.
That's awesome. So, y'all really have a way of reaching these girls. And that's something that we really want to continue. We want to make these girls excited to join the program and understand that there is so much to it. And um, it's not just about your beauty, it's about your brains, and how you present yourself as a young woman. So, if there was any piece of advice that you could give to somebody who, like you said, may be nervous, or maybe they don't feel confident enough to do it, what would you tell them to maybe encourage and motivate them that this is something that they can do and that they should do.
I would just tell them to give it a shot. There's really no hurt in trying, and honestly, there's so many more benefits to trying out DYW, and I don't think there's any harms in trying at all. You meet these really supportive and connective group of friends. The girls here are so inspiring and amazing, and I think that they should give it a shot. Even if they don't think they can do very well in the program, you're gonna meet so many new friends. I know the talent section definitely scares some people. I would just tell them that for the talent section, truly just be who you are, find something that represents you, and honestly, anything works for the talent, whether that is like instruments or speaking a poet on stage or talking about one of your sports experiences. I think that truly anyone should participate in this program and give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, the talent part, like you said, it can be a little intimidating and discourage some people from participating in it. But also, like you said, be creative. There's so many different ways that you can show you're talented. Even if you don't have an instrument that you're a professional at, or if you can't sing and dancing's not your thing, be creative. Show us one of your favorite sports moves or there's been karate on stage. There's so many different things that you can hone in on and really celebrate about yourself. And I think that's really what we want to drive home. We're celebrating young women and the amazing things that y'all can do, and what you can gain from doing something like this. Um, One of the initiatives that we're sort of cultivating this year is called ripple effect. So one small gesture can make such a big difference. So you saw the past participant, and that sparked something in you, and that made a big ripple in your life because you saw her and you said, I can do that. I want to do that. And it made such a big difference. And it was just one little thing, one little gesture. We are wanting to figure out how we can do that and create these ripple effects across the board. So gaining new participants, gaining new volunteers, or keeping our volunteers, because that's essentially how our program even exists, is through our volunteers across the country. And even sponsors, gaining those sponsorship dollars, and how one small gesture from a volunteer at one of the local programs, or one seemingly tiny donation, how it can make such a big difference, and it can send a young girl off to college who may otherwise not have been able to go. Um, and so this ripple effect can make such a big difference. Do you have any suggestions for how we can curate more involvement in making this ripple effect even greater and making people understand the magnitude of what their small gestures do for our program?
hmm So I've been talking to a lot of girls in our community about DYW, but I found out that one of the misconceptions about this program is that it's a pageant, which I just want to stress that that's very much not true. This program is based on scholastic fitness, talents, your speaking abilities. It is not at all based on physical appearance. So I think that addressing this misconception is really important. Also, I feel like in order to have more people know about this program, I think the scholarship opportunities are really fantastic. I think truly being able to save some college tuition is definitely a really great thing. College is pricey. I think that we can sort of emphasize this aspect, the scholastic aspect of DYW, to make sure that there's no misconceptions. In addition to this, I think being more involved in I should be more involved in community events or like visiting schools, letting more younger children know about this program early on so they can sort of build that interest over time.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, everything you say it's really hitting the nail on the head. We want to encourage these girls that they can do it. They can do these hard things if they think it's hard or tough, or something that they're not going to be good enough at. And I think that speaks to why you are now the representative for Illinois. The judges clearly saw something in you that made them want to say, she is what embodies distinguished young women. So as you take on this new role, is there anything in particular that you hope to do as the DYW of Illinois to make a difference in your community?
So some things I want to do to make a difference in my community is definitely building confidence in younger girls. So I noticed that a lot of girls are kind of self-conscious, they're not very like confident in themselves, and I think that this definitely needs addressing. So one of the ways I'm addressing this is so some context before I talk about my community involvement. I did Kung Fu on stage for my DIW talent, and I also like teach Kung Fu to younger kids. And I definitely emphasize teaching young girls like Kung Fu, teaching them that they can be confident, they can be brave, they're strong, and giving them the confidence early on to be more ambitious, more studious, and those are all core values of DYW. So I think definitely building confidence early on and community involvement is something that I strive to do more often.
And that sounds amazing. And definitely some, like you mentioned, some of the key points, the elements of be your best self, which is one of our initiatives here at DYW and something that we want to drive into more people, not just young women, but boys and girls and of all ages. And it's sort of it holds you accountable to those tiers, and how you can be studious and be responsible, be ambitious, be healthy. That's a really hard one. And so, do you have any ways or advice for people who may want to be better, be a better version of themselves, and how they can sort of make a difference and make an impact. Even though we know they are, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it's you don't feel like that you're making such a big difference. I don't really matter in this world, or I'm not doing a good enough job. Is there anything that you would tell them to convince them that there are ways that if you feel like, you're not good enough in one area, you can still do this. You can still be better.
I would tell them to definitely take things one at a time, one step at a time. I think that the pillars of be your best self is a good starting point. So being healthy, studious, ambitious, responsible, all of those things are really great starting points. So whether that means just improving your diet or exercising more often to improve health, or maybe that means taking a couple more challenging classes, I think that taking these little steps can definitely help you become a better person. And by becoming your best self, that can definitely help you make a bigger, more tangible impact in your community. So I think that definitely emphasizing the first steps is really important because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not doing that much. Well, they actually are. They just need to be more confident in themselves and make sure that they're taking things slowly. Change doesn't happen overnight. It definitely takes time. So I'll tell them to be more patient and just be more confident in themselves and trust that they're making the difference in the community that they are.
Yeah, amazing advice. And we're really hopeful that these videos, these messages, get into the hearts of these people. And maybe they're contemplating whether they want to do the program or wishing they would have done the program because now they're seeing how beneficial it actually is. Um, it's really cool to see such young minds kind of formulate that and come to that reasoning that um, you can be confident and you can do these hard things, even when you are so young. So that's pretty much all I have for this conversation. Is there anything that you'd like to add or any bits of wisdom that you've learned over the course of your local and state program? You're heading to national soon. Is there anything you want to talk about or that you're excited about?
I'm definitely really excited for nationals coming up. Excited to meet the community of 50 girls, and I think it's a really warm and inspiring community. One last thing I want to touch on is definitely the community aspect of DYW. I think the most important part of DYW isn't about winning. I think it's recognizing that we're a representative among winners and not a winner among representatives. It's not about winning, it's mostly about the community you build. I think that through DYW, I've definitely met so many fantastic girls out there. They're all so inspiring to me, and they're all really ambitious. They have like such a wide variety of future career goals, from being a musician, a senator, and even to computer programmer and engineers. I think that this variety is definitely really interesting to see. And I'm excited to see where we all end up. I think that the community aspect of DYW is truly amazing. And I actually had such a fun time in the 4 days during the state program. I would highly recommend to anyone who wants to try it, definitely recommending it to my younger sister and the younger girls in my community as well.
Yeah, I think that's such great advice, and words of wisdom and encouragement for truly. So you mentioned girls that are going off and doing these great things and great careers and everything. Do you have any ideas of what you want to do when you graduate high school yet, or where you want to go to college yet, or are we still thinking about it?
I'm still thinking about it, but I do have ideas for what careers I want to do. So for my major, I'm thinking about maybe like an interdisciplinary study between like math and biology, because I hope to become like either a pathologist or a pediatric oncologist one day. I want to work with kids and improve their health, and that's something I want to do in the future.